for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the program on a Monday. It's Backstage Hall Pass. It is our weekend update for this Monday, the 22nd of August, 2022. How is everybody today? You guys doing all right? Let me see if we're getting anybody checking in here. If you're out there, make a comment. Let me know you're in the house. I'll try to get your comments up on the screen too as we go here today, guys. Carolyn in the house. How you doing, Carolyn? Thank you for dropping by. Steve Downey jumping into the studio today via the Book of Face. Stephen Bell in the house from Don't Tell Steve. Marie Smith, how you doing? Nick Gore from the Homegrown Band is here. We're going to talk about them in just a minute or two. Stick around for that. Ray Renee rocking the house as well. Oh, and Eric Sears. Good to see you yesterday, too, my friend. We'll talk about you at the end of the show today. What we got to do yesterday with the folks from the Ken Anderson Alliance and Riding and Rocking for Autism. That was fun stuff. It was. What's going on, Glenn? Checking in on the YouTube channel. And incidentally, guys, we are on YouTube as well as the Book of Face. So either way, you can watch us. And hopefully you're seeing us in a little better clarity, maybe. I hope so. Should be a little cleaner on the screen. Got the ability to play, and I haven't had a chance to play with it today. It's been busy around here. Glenn, I almost called you. I was having HVAC issues at my house. So yeah, it was one of those fun days. One of those fun days today, but I hopefully I've gotten it taken care of. We'll see. We will see. We will see. Yes. Welcome, guys. Got a few people dropping in. We're waiting on some folks to catch up with the live show. And thank you to the 80 plus people who hit it up on our page today and dropped some comments about who they saw play over the weekend. Man, there was a lot of great music going on out there. Ton of it. So hopefully you guys got to check some of it out and enjoyed yourself with that. Let's see who is checking in here. I got to get things up and running a little bit. Oh my. You know, all this two-factor authentication stuff too is kind of crazy on the web now that you have to do to keep the hackers out of your stuff. Every time I have to go live, I have to get an access code that's sent to me to go live and all those things to make sure it's not somebody freaky going live. Rob Paisley in the house. Ryan Schwab, thank you for being here. Appreciate you dropping by today. So yeah, if you're out there, guys, make a comment. Let me know you're here, and we'd love to hear from you. Trying to get those comments up on the screen. Seven West in the house from Six String Hustle. Thank you, Seven, for being here. Trying a few things. What's going on, Josh, from the Homegrown Band? Homegrown Band's in the house. Good to have you guys. It was great to see you play. I'll talk about you here at length in just a minute. But great to see you play over the weekend. We had him on an interview a while back. You can look it up on the Book of Face and check it out and see if you want to watch that one, the Homegrown Band. We talked to him a while back and certainly got a chance to see him over the weekend. It was good times down at Heather's on the patio. And Melanie, she says, Homegrown Band was amazing Friday night. They were amazing. I didn't get a chance to see the opener. I wish I had, but I didn't get there in time for that. But, you know, I did get to check out those folks from Homegrown. Let's get it started today. It's time for the weekend update. Again, if you're out there, guys, say hi and let me know you're in the house. Going to play with a few things as we go in the studio today. Got a couple cameras we can use. Let's see. There it is. Isn't that special? I'll work on the camera angles over the week and we'll fix some things there, but you get a chance to see, we can do some shots like that. And I'll do a wide shot of the studio and put it up so y'all can see that one too. How's that sound? Sounds just marvelous, but we'll go back to the main shot now. All right. Hi, Ross Davis. Thank you for dropping by. Going to hit it up here with you today, guys. And thank you for the over 2,500 views we had on our show on Thursday featuring Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. And, if you're not familiar with our show on Thursdays, all we do is give you the list of who's playing out in the tri-state and the best venues that bring you live local music. And if you're a venue or a band that wants to be a part of that and you're not already, send us a message. We'll get you involved in one of our groups so you can submit your gigs each week and we'll have a chance to chat about them. What's going on? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Dewey, it's crazy. And I can switch it up. I mean, I can go to a different shot here. We can go to this shot right here. That's a little too close for me. I'm not sure I like that. So we'll go back to that one. Yeah, we're getting there technology wise. We're getting there. We got sound effects too. All those things. So, over 90 comments on the page today on who you saw play out over the weekend. A ton of folks getting out, seeing live music. Everywhere I saw pictures and videos was just jam-packed. And our Friday night and Saturday night were no exception. A huge, huge thing. I want to back up to Thursday real quick. We were with you live Thursday with Live at 5. Again, 2,500 views. But also went down to the Bell and the Bear, spent a little time down there for Brandy and Mickey's engagement party. Brandy from Strange Love and Brandy and the Beard, Mickey from Sweet Sister Mercy and Strange Love fame, as well as their engagement, Brandy's birthday. It was a big hoot. It was. We had a good time, had some great friends there, enjoyed our evening, got to see some folks that we hadn't seen in a while at the Bell and the Bear. We do it every Thursday we can. Try to get there as much as I can because it's a who's who of Cincinnati music and some great musicians playing at the Bell every Thursday night. So stop in, see Karis and company. Enjoy our pictures. We're going to post them on the page this week from last Thursday's Bell and the Bear as well. We got some pictures up today from the Homegrown Band and from our weekend extravaganza in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and we'll chat about that here in just a moment. Josh Morgan, thank you for dropping by. Good to see you yesterday, my friend. And Gary, good to have you with us. I may pop a top tomorrow on the show there, Josh. Do a little 16 lots promotion if we can tomorrow on Top 5 Tuesday. Yeah. But right now, let's get to it. I want to talk about Friday night. Like I said, never had a chance to see the Homegrown Band. Tried to go see them in Miamisburg one night when they were playing down there at, I believe it's Jane's on Main. And Miamisburg had a big event going on. There wasn't parking within a 6-mile radius of that place. So we circled the block a few times and heard Homegrown Band, but I've never had a chance to really sit down and watch them. And what an amazing band they were Friday night at Heather's. Man, I can't say enough about these guys. In fact, my friend Hollywood from down at Pullman Lanes was asking me about them because he's looking at booking bands for 2023 and all that. And I told him I hadn't seen them play yet. Well, I sent him a full report that night, and he's ready to book these guys as well to play at his venue down there in Hamilton. So I do want to mention that the vocals Nick presented were amazing. The guitar work is amazing. Pete on bass, some really good stuff. Josh in there. I mean, just a great band, solid musicianship. And I'm telling you, they had the crowd pumped up, and Heather's was packed out on a Friday night. It was a great time to see those guys play. And hey, Jay, how are you? To see those guys play for the first time. And I was talking to some folks in the audience, and somebody described Nick's vocals as butter, smooth as butter. I thought, well, that's pretty good because, boy, it was fantastic. They've got a country flair, a rock flair to them, a little bluegrass thrown in there. It's a unique group of people and musicians, and it's a great band to go see, guys. If you ever get a chance, go see the Homegrown Band. I don't have time to dwell on the show today and all the things they played, but all I can tell you is you missed out if you weren't there at Heather's on Friday night and didn't get a chance to see those guys. And, I've known Pete for a while with his other project, but certainly this one, this is action packed and full of great music, and they were killing it. Everybody in the place was talking about that. Heather was talking about it with me afterwards as well, and she loves to have bands that have that kind of energy because it keeps the crowd. You know, a lot of times when you're running a patio with food and all that, you get an earlier crowd, and if the band's not what they want, they move on to somewhere else. And this crowd stayed. They were hanging in there. Nick, it was great to get a chance to talk to you and have a chance to chat a little bit when we weren't trading gigs or talking online. So that was cool as well. So guys, homegrown band out of Miamisburg, Ohio, look them up, follow their page. If you haven't followed their page yet, do me a favor and hit that up and follow it because you won't be sorry if you go see one of their shows. Good Southern rock flair to that, man. I like it. And throwing in some new stuff along with the older tunes and just a real appealing band. And they had some originals in there, which I dearly loved as well. I love a band that throws a couple originals in once in a while. You know, we talk about that a lot on the show, that people get up and go get a beer during a concert when they say, oh, here's my new song or whatever. But it's great to see people writing and producing and playing their own music sometimes. And that was fun. Good to hear the original cuts, guys. Thank you so much. Pete's on here. Gosh, you're getting a lot of those guys here today. If I get my cursor to work, I'll get some of those comments up. Homegrown band, you're most welcome. I'm glad, and I'm a fan. I'll be there again for sure. Nick Gore, thank you very much for being a part of our community and sending us your gigs when you play. And yeah, we appreciate you guys as well. And Peter O'Neill in the house. And you can find Pete, too, besides the homegrown band with Ben and Pete. We mentioned them on the show quite a bit and where they're playing. And they're Miamisburg favorites as well. So check both of those groups out if you can. Ola, Jim McCarthy, thank you for being with us today. So, guys, that was our Friday night. I wish I had more time to just talk about that show in itself. I made a lot of notes, but I've got to move on because I've got some huge stuff to talk about also as we rock on down the road here on a Monday for our weekend in review. Now, if you saw somebody play and you didn't post it on our page today, drop it in the comments. We'll mention it today. We'd love to hear about it. But when you do, guys, when you make these comments about I saw this person play, please mention the venues, because without the venues, these bands wouldn't have anywhere to go play. So we'd appreciate it very much if you mention the venues and let us know where you saw them play as well. Gives us a chance to know where to go out and scope out some new music. So let's move on to Saturday. Hey, Corky, how are you? How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Dwayne Chandler throwing in a shameless plug for H&R Rock. I believe that's at the Naughty Pine on the 2nd. Yep, it is. He put a comment about that. All right. On the 2nd of September. Send me that, Dwayne, in a message so I can get it on the list this week, if you will. Hi, George Orr. Thank you for dropping in. Strange Love in the house. What's going on? Yeah, Dwayne. Thank you. All right. Let me keep moving. Saturday, this was an all-day event for us, guys. Took a trip to Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And, you know, if you've been to Lawrenceburg, many of us have, we all go to the casino. I've been to the casino numerous times down there, especially before Ohio had casinos. And I will tell you, there's a lot more to Lawrenceburg, I found out on Saturday, than just the casino. This downtown area was absolutely cool. It was neat. There's some venues down there, some bars down there, and that Lawrenceburg, this band area, the Lawrenceburg Civic Park, this stage rivals a whole lot of outdoor stages I've seen in my day. And I can tell you, it's a beautiful stage setting and parking garage right behind it. Lots of good stuff happening in Lawrenceburg. I'm really impressed how clean it was, how well the event was run. And this was a big event for them, probably one of their biggest events ever. And let's see, I'm getting some comments here. Hi, Steve Stein. Thanks for representing the shirt. I got a picture from Heather's on Saturday when you were with Jay Clark. You were wearing the Haul Around Town Support Local Music shirt. I appreciate that very much, my friend. And Bill, it was good to see you there, even though we didn't get a chance to talk. But who was going to talk during JJ's set, right? It was so good. And we'll get to that. And it was good to see you in Lawrenceburg as well, my friend. Raven A saw Resist and Bite at JD's and Kicks on Friday night. I believe that was, or Friday or Saturday. I don't remember what night that was, but it was good. Jamie said Saturday was so much fun. And yes, he got a chance to see Catfish Campbell in his solo debut at the Lounge. He did a great show. Well, that's good to know that he's doing that. I'll get to your comments here, guys, but I want to kind of flow with this one a little bit because I want to talk about this event in Lawrenceburg. First and foremost, our friend Glenn is on here right now, and there's a whole lot of us that owe Glenn a big bunch of gratitude for taking his happy butt to Lawrenceburg early in the morning and setting up the VIP section right up front so we could be up front and personal with JJ Gray and Mofro. And Glenn had his VIP seat set up. We had a huge contingent of us there and a wonderful night. Even though the rain was imminent, there were storms blowing around us, tornado warnings south of us and north of us. This thing went off. In the mix. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back. Now we're back. Now I got to go to this. Let's try that one. Well, maybe not. Good gravy. You're seeing double. If you're seeing double, I'm sorry. There, we're gonna go with that. So I don't want to lose our picture again, and we'll just have to see what happens here. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. I don't know what's happening, people. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, let's keep going. So that's what happens when they add all these new fancy things to your streaming platform, and they haven't tested it out yet because it just kind of kicked everything to the wayside. So we're going to go with this straight up ugly view of my mug. I have a face for radio, so don't look. Thank you for that, Jim. Appreciate that. Johnny Fink at the bell was good. Jamie saying thank you to Glenn. Glenn, again, thank you so much for setting that up. Glenn then sends me a picture in the morning where he's next to JJ Gray. A little jealous of that, I will say. I was a little jealous of it. It was. And Corky used to play in Aurora, Club Dallas. There you go. Yes, that's right down the road. Thank you. Yes, back in the mid-90s. Yeah, don't be showing your age, boys. Don't. So let's start out with this event. Beautiful band shell, okay, or stage, covered stage. Wonderful venue. They had it set up, fenced off. You had beer vendors. You had food. Just everything going on there in Lawrenceburg Civic Park. And the city ran a nice event, plenty of security, plenty of places to park. It was easy to get in and out of. Jamie Minnick, it was great to hang with you as well on that day. And here it is. Dewey says, $6 million into building a park and amphitheater back in 2019. It's amazing. Eagles Project are there Thursday. Yes, they are. Thank you for that, Dewey. And yes, it is worth the trip to Lawrenceburg, people. I will tell you that. It's a beautiful setting and a wonderful place to see live music. And we had a blast with it. And Rosewood Revival. Neither one of the openers I've ever seen before in my life. Rosewood Revival was killer good. These guys out of, I believe, the Cincinnati Conservatory for Music, these guys that were playing in this band, some good stuff. When they did My Sharona, I was surprised, to say the least. But they nailed it. And some great guitar work, some wonderful musicianship again with that band. And they were fun. They got cut a little short. Things were a little dicey. Announcer was on, and it took a while to get them on stage, but it was interesting. Once they started playing, everybody was just in their seats and having a great time. One of those things where, you know, typically at a concert where you're going to see a national act, the openers don't get a big crowd. Well, they had a great crowd. And we had a pretty good little rainstorm during their show and during the supporting acts show. But it wasn't bad. And Rosewood Revival, they're worth following as well, folks. And I don't know much about them. We talked a little bit today. I'm going to get them on the show. They're going to do an interview with me, and we'll get to know them a little bit better. And I look forward to that because these guys, they were cool cats. And
what an honor to get to open. That's the second time I think they've opened for a national there at Lawrenceburg, and had the opportunity to be up on that stage. And it was a cool stage. Production did a great job too. And I went to the front of house guys at the end of the night and said, man, it's one of the times where, because when you sit in the front row, you don't often hear well. The way the sound is usually flown in the air and all that, you don't always hear well. We heard perfectly where we were the whole night. Great sound. And even for the openers, great sound, which typically is not always the case. And because they don't do as long a sound check and dial them in as well and those kind of things. Here, let me zoom in with you. How's that? Wow, that's scary. All right, so Rosewood Revival. Next up, Pure Grain. What I can say about Pure Grain is wow. Wow. These boys came to play, and girls came to play. And they had that for what they call a supporting act. It was definitely good support for JJ Gray, because they got the crowd motivated and pumped up. The people were cheering for him. It was cool stuff. And if you're out there, guys, please make a comment. Let me know you're in the house. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you being here. And yeah, George Orr said he saw Johnny Fink hit the bell, and then Rockstar at first 10. George. So as we move on through this night on Saturday, and what a night it was. Hi, Kara. Thank you for dropping in. Just Pure Grain, man. Wow. Great group. And I know Glenn got to talk to him a little bit, talk to the drummer a little bit. I heard from him today, and he wanted to, we were joking back and forth a little bit with him, because they were the ones in our pictures that are wearing the Support Local Music shirts, which are similar to what we wear, and some of the stuff that we support on All Around Town Radio. So that was awesome, and we enjoyed that as well. So got a chance to kind of chat about that, and I chatted with the drummer for a bit today, and we'll introduce you to him when we bring him on the show, because he's going to come on as well. And they're going to talk about their band. And Pure Grain was a great opener to pick for JJ Gray. Just enough difference in the style of music to make it a little bit different, but certainly fun and exciting, and class act musicianship there too. Killer guitar solos. We had the bongos going in the back, some great stuff. And thank you for Pure Grain entertaining the crowd as we sat under umbrellas for quite a bit while they were playing. And then the storms moved out, and the skies opened up to a beautiful evening. It was a little steamy for a while, but opened up to a beautiful evening. And gosh, JJ Gray and Mofro hit the stage. 9 o'clock start time on that one. They played for about 105 minutes. Not that I watched that stuff, but they played for 105 minutes. Hi, Chris Thompson. Thanks for dropping in. Let me see what else we got here. Homegrown band this Friday night, Lucky Star in Miamisburg. If you want to check them out, thank you, Melanie. Appreciate that. They were fantastic on Friday. Go see them, people. So, JJ Gray. It's a blend of Southern, I call it Southern blues. You talk about a guy that's, if you were to spell smooth with a V, it's JJ Gray. He's smooth, baby. And he gets on that stage, and he's got one of the greatest voices. And just his voice inflection, his accent, the whole bit makes for a great evening. And he's a wonderful storyteller. If you've never followed JJ Gray music, get your butt over to YouTube. I don't care if you check out right now on the show. Get your butt over to YouTube and watch some of his videos, and you'll be a fan. I guarantee you'll be a fan. This was the last night of this leg of his tour. Had a chance to talk to his merch guy. Mrs. Hall Around Town recognized him from a venue that we saw JJ in Florida. And unfortunately, they're not going to play New Year's this year at the Buckingham Blues Bar, where we went to see him last year. It was a wonderful time. We're saddened about that, but we'll get back to see him soon, for sure. Thank you, Jim McCarthy, for throwing in the Homegrown Band's Facebook link. Appreciate that very much. And keep them coming, guys. Keep the comments coming. JJ Gray, if you don't know him, you should, as I said. He is bluesy. He's fun. He is entertaining, to say the least. And now they had an emergency with their keyboard player. The keyboard player plays a Hammond B3 organ, which I dearly love. Anytime any band has that, I'm sold. But he could not be there. He had to check out that morning and fly home for a family emergency of some sort. And so they were a little out of sorts from how they're going to play that show, because a lot of JJ songs have this keyboard in. And I thought they did a great job. If you'd never seen them before, you'd have thought, what a fantastic band. And you wouldn't have known the keyboard player wasn't there. All I can say, folks, is go see them with the keyboards, and it'll take it to an even better level for sure. Jamie's commenting here. Let me see what she's got to say. Yeah, without the keyboard player, it was amazing. It was an unbelievable show. And he goes into one of his famous songs called Lock Lusa. And when he does that song, you think it's over. And that's kind of his little thing. And then all of a sudden, here comes a couple more songs. And then he comes back for another one or two after that. And JJ is just a cool cat. He is a wonderful guy. And what do we got? Okay. Bill said he posted. Bill, you got a link to that? If you got a link, throw it in the comments so people can watch it. And people should check it out if they didn't get a chance to go. So throw a link in there if you've got a link to it, or after the show's over, you can throw a link in the comments, and maybe folks will go check that out. I saw your video, and Bill, you had the stick in the air with the camera and all that. That's cool. And I haven't had a chance to see him yet, but I'll sure watch him. JJ Gray, I've often said, misses all around town. If he pulled up in front of the house with his bus, all I would see is taillights and exhaust, and wouldn't have a wife anymore. She'd be gone. She'd be gone down the street. She loves JJ Gray. And thank you, Glenn, for getting us up there. It's the second time we've had an opportunity to see him that up close and personal, and it never, ever disappoints. And Glenn and I had a good time sitting out there in the audience, people watching, and boy, it was fun. Gina was there, Gina McCann. Ed Sawicki took some fantastic photos. So if you follow Ed, check out his pictures. They're much better than mine. And one thing that really amazed me was at the end of the show, when JJ went down to the audience on the rail there in the front, and he walked the whole railing and signed everything anybody wanted signed, took pictures, selfies, whatever with people. That was really cool. And he took the time. I mean, we were there probably 30 minutes after the show ended, and he was still doing it, still finishing up with that. So, there's a guy who's going to go get on his bus. He's going to head back home to the Jacksonville area of Florida, and where their home base is. Probably that night they're going to drive in the night, or he might hang at the hotel at the casino there and then head home in the morning. But what a great show. Lawrenceburg, hats off to you for a fantastic event. We loved it, enjoyed every minute of being in that park, and really cool thing. Only sad thing was, didn't win the guitar that was signed by JJ. Was hoping to win that, but didn't. I did get a hat signed by him, which I should have put in the background today, but you know me, I'm busy. I'm busy. So that was our Saturday night, and what a cool night it was. And guys, again, if you saw somebody play over the weekend, you want to mention in the comments here, please show it. Yeah, Jim, he's a classy dude. He's always been super nice guy and wonderful entertainer. And I love the way he connects. He spends more time pulling his in-ear monitor out so he can hear the crowd than anything, and getting the crowd motivated and pumped up and all those things. That's the thing I do like about him as well. And, I got to say, Mrs. All Around Town introduced me to him. I knew nothing about him, and she was a big fan, and she introduced me to him, and I'm a huge fan now. I'd go anywhere to see him. And thank you again, Glenn, for the great night in the VIP seats. I think Glenn was there 3 days prior or something like that. I don't know. He was there early, getting that all set up and ready to go. And Lawrenceburg, again, hats off to you for a wonderful event in the the Southeastern Indiana Music Hall of Fame, or whoever. There was a lot of guys there doing some stuff too. So great stuff going on. I do have to mention an event on Sunday that I attended. We had it on the show last week. We brought you a wonderful interview with the folks from Ken Anderson Alliance, from 16 Lots Brewery, and Mr. Kevin McCoy. And they all came together yesterday for Riding and Rocking for Autism at Queen City Harley-Davidson. If you haven't been to their new location, wow, this place is massive. It's huge. Rain was imminent, so they moved the Kevin McCoy band inside to a loft area. They were the first band ever to play inside the venue, the new venue there, and they've got beautiful Harleys everywhere, guys, and a wonderful merchandise department, service department, all that. But everything else was set up outside. There were vendors there, Tickled Pickle. Got a chance to meet those folks with their food truck. Got indigenous chefs were there. There were so many people there helping with this event. 16 Lots Brewery, who I got to give a big shout out to Josh Morgan there and Dell for giving me a little bit of a taste of that new Ken Anderson brew that they're brewing down there. It's called Who Day Drinking, and it was good stuff. And 16 Lots Brewery in Mason, guys, if you want to check them out as well. They were a big sponsor yesterday. Along with the Ken Anderson Alliance, Kevin McCoy played. Melodic Connection, I didn't get there in time to see them, but they are a group of disabled adults who play in a band, and they played at Autism Rocks, and that was cool. Thank you for that, Mr. Harlan Lee. Got to see him at the Blue Note, I see. What's up, Dirk Turner? Thank you. And what do we got here? Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. So Kevin McCoy band played there. Eric Sears up there with Kevin McCoy. Yes. Who else? Catfish Campbell. And Lee Dixon. They were tearing it up on the upper deck there at Queen City Harley-Davidson. It was cool. It was great stuff. And we enjoyed that so much. And what's really rewarding there is to see the folks who come with disabilities to those events that are part of that Ken Anderson Alliance family. And they were having a great time. This one young lady introduced herself to me. She works at the coffee shop, Ken Anderson's coffee shop in Silverton. And she was extremely vocal and fun to talk to. And she just laid it on me about this coffee shop, telling me why I had to be there and come see her and all this. She was a great salesperson for it. And just a wonderful, wonderful day. Saw some great friends there too. Some folks from the Bell and the Bear who were regulars there at the Bell who came in, along with the folks from the Ken Anderson Alliance that we get to see at Autism Rocks. So thank you for that event. Thank you, Queen City Harley-Davidson, again, for a wonderful, wonderful event. We'll get some pictures up of that event also on our page this evening, guys. I have run out of time. We are a little bit over here, so I want to make sure we say bye-bye. And Bill says, search his name on Facebook. He thinks that'll work. So there it is. I'll try to steal one of those video links and post it up for you later, Bill, and get it on the page here. And Joshua, great seeing you yesterday too with 16 Lots Brewery. We appreciate that. And cool stuff, guys, happening out there with live music over the weekend. So to recap, our wonderful weekend: Thursday night, Bell and the Bear; Friday night, the Homegrown Band at Heather's. Yahoo! That was a good time. And then on Saturday, J.J. Gray Mofro down in Lawrenceburg with opening act Rosewood Revival and Pure Grain. Now, Pure Grain's, they got some big followers on the Book of Face and things. So I don't know how I've missed those guys, but they have been. They were great. Jamie, you have a good night. Ray Renee, thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. And thank you, Jim. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Eric Sears, thank you so much as well. And thanks for coming down and saying hi yesterday. I appreciate that so much. I know you guys are up there on that loft. You guys elevated to an all-new level. And one thing I want to say about Kevin McCoy, Mongo, the sound guy, and I have come up with a new term. Now, in all these digital reverb units, there's concert hall reverb, there's reverb, there's small room reverb, big room reverb. We've come up with motorcycle warehouse reverb, and it was natural. Mongo pretty much had to turn off the front of house yesterday just to let the monitors bounce around and do their thing from that building. But it was a cool time. And a great time to see Kevin McCoy Band, guys. Always fun to see those guys play. Thanks for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow with Top 5 Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Look for our topic to pop up on the page at some point throughout the day. We'd appreciate it if you do that. And also, don't forget to get out and support live local music and the bands and venues, guys, that bring it to you. That's most important to do. So thanks so much for being with us today on Hall Around Town Radio. I'm Scott Hall, your host. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.